And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Okay guys, in today's video we're going to be discussing what Dermot Gallagher on that referee watch has said with regards to the decision regarding Cyril Dessers. We're also going to be going through what Simon Jordan has said with regards to the Old Firm defeat and Michael Beale's position as Rangers manager, whilst also going through Alfredo Morelos as he has found a new club, finally. And I will leave that to the end because I know some of you guys don't want to hear it, but it is a big fall from grace. But let's start with the refereeing decision at the weekend. Of course, Dessers' foul on Lagerbalk, of course, wasn't a foul, I didn't think. Of course, then led to Kemar Roof's goal from being disallowed. And basically, the situation was the on-field decision was left. There was nothing in there, but VAR kind of intervened. Don Robertson then went up to the screen and then had a second look and then disallowed the goal. Now, since the fallout, and I've always stood very firm, even live, after the game and the instant match reaction, and even this morning, I've still remained the same. That is not a foul in a million years. Ali McCoyster since came out and said it isn't. Loads of ex-players, pundits and all the rest of it again have stood by that. And now we've had the sort of confirmation from Dermot Gallagher on that Sky Sports' Ref Watch. Every single Monday, Dermot Gallagher and Sky Sports kind of come together and discuss the sort of controversial decisions from the weekend. And basically, of course, that decision was highlighted on this morning's episode. And basically, Dermot Gallagher said that the referee initially had the decision as correct, and that on the VAR, when it went to VAR, it shouldn't have went to VAR first and foremost, and secondly, should have stood by his decision and not disallowed the goal. So yeah, Dermot Gallagher, again, another person coming in, a professional referee. It's all well and good me coming out and saying it, fans having their opinion, pundits and players saying their opinion, but when an ex-referee comes out and gives the verdict, then, it's a howler of a decision. And again, I'm not going to keep pissing and moaning about it. It's not going to change anything. And do we deserve the 3 points? Would it have won us the game? Probably not. But look, it just goes to show another decision went our way. And Don Robertson made an absolute howler. Now, with regards to Simon Jordan is well known for having sort of his opinion with regards to Scottish football and Rangers. And basically on TalkSport was asked about his thoughts on the weekend's result against Celtic, and basically gave a reminder to Rangers fans with regards to the situation. He said, well, is it right or is it the reality of managing either Rangers or Celtic? He hasn't been there for a significant period of time, but he's there for the best part of almost a year now. It's not as if he's been there for 5 minutes. I'm not suggesting he should be getting the boot, but he should be feeling the ramifications of the fact that they've just gone jettisoned from the Champions League. Sent out of it with the tail between their legs. They're getting beat by their major rivals, which is almost a limitless test. So what is he was brought in to do? Was it a long-term plan? Was it designed to give him time to be able to catch Celtic? Or is the reality of the situation that you don't get that time? Rangers broke the seal by winning the league under Steven Gerrard. It's all gone pear-shaped from there because Celtic regained their poise. His job on the basis of understanding that, and clearly he must have understood that because he's been there previously. Gerrard was given a period of time, but he's not Steven Gerrard. He doesn't have the same perceived cachet as him. The project of Rangers was at a different time then. It was ultimately that Rangers had to go back into the Premiership, and it was about establishing itself as a meaningful force. They won a league and stopped Celtic from winning 10 in a row. We are now in a situation where that guy is feeling some pressure. Okay, that goes in this territory. Should he be sacked? I don't watch enough of Rangers to know if he should be sacked or not. But if you're looking at the results and what he must have been told to do, which was give us some perceived success, if that is to overturn Celtic and you're not doing it, then you're going to be under pressure, aren't you? He also went on to say and finish, what is the expectation? Celtic are better side now, and they've got seemingly more economic resources. So you go and get a guy who was a number 2 and then spent 5 minutes in a job at Queen's Park Rangers in the Championship, and you put him in a job. What is it you precisely expect from him? And Celtic bring back a guy in Brendan Rodgers whose significant input to Celtic, winning virtually everything, and then went to the Premier League and won the FA Cup with Leicester City. Who do you think he is? Harry Potter with the wands? He doesn't have better players or the managerial experience. He has to be a project, otherwise what's the point in bringing Beale in? He was always going to be on learning on the job because he's not an established manager. You push the envelope. That's Simon Jordan's kind of thoughts with regards to Michael Beale. And I basically wanted to ask the question to regards to the fan base as well, because it made me think about it actually. And I'm more under the understanding that Beale isn't a project. I know that people could make comparisons because he's inexperienced, if you like. It's a first team role, but he was here before and he was kind of dubbed as the brains behind the sort of mechanism under Steven Gerrard. And as I said, when Steven Gerrard came in, I think us as a fan base were very patient. We understood what was at hand. We understood the kind of remit. We understood that it was going to take a good few years because we were on our knees, really. But since then, we went on to win a league title. We went on to the European final. Scottish Cup and all the rest of it, and we have quite a big economic pool now and should be competing for the title year in, year out. That should be the remit every single season. So I don't believe this Beale project. I do understand you have to give a manager time, but we're not at a stage in this moment in time in terms of being at Rangers where we can give managers 2 or 3 years to, get something together to win a title. That's not the case. Yes, there was one point in our history of which we had to do that, and that was under Steven Gerrard, but as I said, at a completely different time. So where Simon Jordan is asking if it's a project, I don't believe it's a project at Rangers anymore. I believe those days are kind of gone. What we were expecting with Beale is someone who has a know-how, knows the club, knows the players, and a manager that could come in to win here and now. So in terms of where Beale is going to be judged, he's going to be judged on winning trophies this season. That's the short end of it, really. But just to finish, guys, with regards to Alfredo Morelos, he has just made a permanent transfer to Santos out in Brazilian Serie A. Wow, what a fall from grace, really, there from Alfredo. The situation with regards to him, a player that was subject to a bid from FC Porto, subject for a bid from Lille, and now at 27-year-old in the Brazilian Serie A. With Santos. I know Santos are a fairly big side in South America, but Jesus me. That is a fall from grace. I really did expect Alfredo to go on to do some big things, but to end up in the Brazilian Serie A and can't even get a move to Saudi Arabia, it just goes to show something. That's crazy. And you kind of feel sorry for the guy, really. That's a real bad move. And I kind of feel bad for him. And to be fair, actually, we probably could have done with him for a 2-year contract as well. Considering our attacking players, I'll probably get him on the phone and try and get him back for 2 years after we had released him. An unfit Alfredo Morelos is probably better than the stuff that we've got right now anyway. But that's not going to be the case at Santos. But we probably should have waited for him. He probably could do more than our attacking players could do, and he knows the club. That is what it is. Yeah. Guys, that's what that brings us into today's video. Do you know your thoughts on Simon Jordan's words and kind of give me your final thoughts on the weekend. Also with Alfredo Morelos' move to Santos. As I said, let me know down there in the comment section below. That does bring us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.